Another injury for the Orioles to a top prospect, but luckily some good news down on the farm with an old hand as well. Hello, everybody. I'm Jon Leiberman. This is Orioles Digest. Coming up in this edition, an injury to another Orioles top prospect. We'll tell you about it. Kyle Gibson down on the farm, impressing in his start today. We'll tell you about that. Is it time for him to come up to the bigs? Who do I think, who have I been saying for the past 6 weeks should be up at the big league level as a starting pitcher? We're going to get into that. And then really we're going to look at what is wrong at this point with this Orioles team. Please like, subscribe, do all of the things because we're here with you for the good, the bad, and the ugly. So far, it's been not great, to say the least. I want to hear from you. I know you're disappointed with the Orioles start, but what do you attribute it to exactly? But let's just get to it. Let's start with news that we never like to hear, which is Enrique Bradfield Jr., a top prospect for the Orioles, left the game in Double-A today with a hamstring injury of some sort. He came up limping after legging out a triple. He did walk off the field without any assistance, but it is absolutely concerning because, as you know, Bradfield is one of the Orioles' top prospects and definitely the future of the Birds. And so we absolutely need to keep an eye on this moving forward because, as you also know, the Orioles' number one prospect, as we reported, Samuel Basallo, also Major League Baseball's number 13 overall prospect, was removed from a game late last week with left hamstring discomfort, the same injury as Enrique Bradfield Jr. is suffering from as well. Again, no word on how serious Basallo's injury is or Enrique Bradfield. My question for you is, do you think these are all just coincidental injuries, or do you think there is a conditioning, a training issue somewhere in the organization? Let me know in the comments because I really want to hear from you on that. Now, we've gotten the kind of the bad news out of the way. We know that the Orioles starters need some reinforcement now that Zach Eflin is on the IL, and those reinforcements may come in the form of this man. This is Kyle Gibson. You know him. You love him. That's him striking out one in AAA today. Let's watch it again. A nice outing for Kyle Gibson today down on the farm. I'll give you the numbers. 47 pitches, 3 1/3 innings pitched, 1 earned run on 3 hits, and 4 strikeouts like the one you just saw. So definitely a good outing for Kyle Gibson down at AAA as the Orioles figure out, and they do have 2 off days coming up, but as they figure out, A, will they need another starter? My guess is yes. And B, when that might be, given the fact that the Orioles have 2 off days as well. And look, Gibson, you know what you're going to get with Kyle Gibson. You know, you're going to get an innings eater. He's going to have hard hit balls, but it was definitely a good sign that after not pitching for a while, that down in AAA today, obviously it was a man against boys, if you will, but still a good sign. And look, you know with Kyle Gibson, as I said, exactly what you're going to get. These are the basic numbers: 30 games, almost 170 innings. Gives up a fair amount of home runs, but also strikes out a fair amount. He gives up the hits, Charlie Morton-esque. And, you know, his ERA is going to sit somewhere around 4.5 or so. And that's what you get from Kyle Gibson. So, what do you think? Do you think it's time to call up Kyle Gibson to the bigs? Do you think he is the answer And he does have the experience, no doubt about that. So do you go for experience or do you go for potential? Brandon Young. I've been talking about this guy before the media even started talking about him. Brandon Young is a stud. He is an absolute stud. And, you know, the Orioles actually recognized his potential and they protected him from the Rule 5. That's why he's on the 40-man roster right now. So he's on the 40-man. I want to look at his numbers if we could for a second, if we have them here. These are Brandon Young's numbers down at AAA so far. 11 1/3 scoreless innings, 7 hits, a couple walks, 11 strikeouts. This guy is 6'6". He's ready for the bigs. He is ready for the big leagues. I believe Brandon Young should get called up. Give the guy a shot. Is it a wild card? Absolutely. But at this point, the Orioles need a shot in the arm, both from an energy perspective, maybe from an enthusiasm perspective. Nobody's panicking. I mean, you heard it in the locker room. Everybody has, chin up saying that this thing is going to get turned around. But look, it hasn't been the start that the Orioles want. And it really boils down to, in my mind, a handful of statistics we're going to look at right now. So when the Birds score 5 or more runs, they win. When they score 4 or fewer, they lose. It's boom or bust, right? Reinforced by the .974 on base plus slugging in wins and .475 in losses. They simply can't hit in these losses. 6 dingers on opening day, but only 6 since then. And Baltimore leads the league with 16 double plays after recording the fewest last year of 71. And obviously, Sagano has been a bright spot. He's going to have to step up. But I was reviewing all the stats today, and I don't put this slump on the pitching staff. I really, truly don't. I mean, the starters do have a 5.37 ERA. I acknowledge that. It ranks 26th in the majors, and that's even with Zach Eflin's 6 runs over 18. So the starting staff hasn't been stellar, but they also haven't gotten run support. And the bullpen has been outstanding. CNL Perez aside, the bullpen has been outstanding. So this largely falls on the lineup to start regularly producing runs, giving these pitchers a lead in the beginning so they can actually go out and pitch with confidence. Sagano is going to be a key, particularly over the next several weeks and months as we get to the All-Star break and after, as we hope that Grayson comes back, as we hope that Kyle Bradish makes some sort of appearance this season, as we hope that Tyler Wells comes back. We need Kittredge back, even though the bullpen's been great, except for CNL. We do need Kittredge back. So a lot of question marks. Again, I stress by saying that to a man, nobody's panicking or even showing any panic at this point. The Orioles have a 9-game homestand coming up. They need to start turning it around. I'm Jon Leiberman. This is Orioles Digest.